500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I want to turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at it's sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and wolves. I got a green thought, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and die. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Suge, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Hey, make profits. That TTG money gang. Hey, making profits. We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. We are live for what is going to be the start of what I think is the single most important week of the entire year. And that is because we are going to get mega cap earnings, mega tech earnings after the close. Right now, we're going to cover with you guys live. My name is Michael Edward Pernati. I go by Michael Edward. I began my career trading over 17 years ago, working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. My first job right out of college. While there, I had to go through an educational training program, folks, that taught me how to become a proper trader, taught by professionals. That's how I learned how to trade these markets. I didn't have to sift through hours of YouTube videos. Then 2008 happened. That was the Great Recession, the stock market crash, but also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Guys, we're going to cover these earnings right now as they are coming out, and they are coming across the screen here now. We got initial upside right now on Microsoft, waiting for the numbers actually to come through. Microsoft trading higher, SPY trading higher, Alphabet trading higher right now as we just got through the close. I think that yesterday, basically what you had in the markets yesterday you had essentially the markets test a very important support level. That support level successfully held yesterday. And then today the markets took a little bit of a breather. We are moving to the upside now, folks. Microsoft is flying to the upside. Can mega cap tech save this market? It certainly looks like it for now. You're getting big move to the upside, guys, as Microsoft earnings are coming across the wire here. As soon as I get all of the details on their numbers just came out. And the stock is up 5%, up $17, $18, ripping to the upside right now. Earnings per share came in at $2.99. Let's see as I get the rest of all this info, guys. Wow, we are exploding on Microsoft. Look at this candle being put out on Microsoft. Microsoft is fast approaching all-time highs. Resistance right here at 352. Resistance right here at 352. So 299 per share versus 265. That's a beat. $56.5 billion in revenue versus $54.5 billion expected. So right now, revenue is a beat and earnings per share is a beat for Microsoft, taking us to the upside. The stock is up 18%, but now we got opposite action on Alphabet, guys. This might be a tale of two different tapes. Microsoft to the upside, Alphabet to the downside. 134 now, Alphabet down 4%. Man, the market's going to have a tough time deciding between this. Markets are going to have a very tough time deciding between this. Microsoft to the upside, Alphabet to the downside. Which one is more important? Who wants to make that decision? Which one of these stocks is more important? I think the market really would want to see both of these be good. You're getting Alphabet to the downside. That is certainly not going to help. The market just gave back the move that it had. You guys can see we got a quick spike to the upside once Microsoft earnings came out, but now Alphabet earnings coming out and you're reversing, giving that move back. Let me see as we're coming. That's Texas Instruments. Alphabet's sales were a beat. $76.7 billion versus $76 billion was the expectation. That's a beat on Alphabet's sales. 5 to 6. Yeah, I mean that's a beat on sales for Alphabet. Trying to see, I got to dive through a little bit deeper to see what the Texas Instruments is also to the downside, guys. That's another big one that we had here today. Texas Instruments to the downside. Market is now selling. Market is now red. Microsoft can't hold this market up by itself. Yeah, Alphabet's a beat. I mean, they beat on earnings per share, $1.55 versus $1.45, and they beat on revenue. Q3 Google search and other revenue, $44 billion. Cloud revenue was $68 billion. Google advertising revenue, $59.6 billion. That's a typo. That can't be correct. That's a typo on the cloud revenue. Let's see. Here we go. It's cloud. It's cloud. It's the cloud that hurt Alphabet, guys. They missed on cloud revenue. That's what the culprit is here. And that's where the real growth driver is going to come from. The areas of Alphabet's earnings that you really wanted to see impress was cloud and YouTube. And cloud is really seen as a real revenue driver for Alphabet. And they're really looked at as a little bit of a they've got work to do on the cloud side of their business in order to really keep that revenue growth going. Microsoft is doing its thing. Microsoft is straight to the upside. That's doing well. If Alphabet can recover off this bottom low, I talked with members of True Trading Group today about support levels on Microsoft, and we were talking about if we got down into the high 120s, that was a pretty good buying area for Alphabet, and you just dropped right to 131. So you missed those high 120s, but that was a buy zone for us. We talked about it last night on the live stream as we were going over the game plan for Microsoft, but then we also were talking about it today inside of True Trading Group, focusing on this support level. I just drew that line for you guys out on the screen that if you dropped into that area, that I believe that is a buy zone for the stock. It's their cloud. It's their cloud. I mean, these aren't bad earnings from, let me see what some of these other cloud is. We have a reaction here from Snowflake. Snowflake is trading to the upside. What's Datadog doing? Datadog is trading to the upside. So you are getting some sympathy. Some of these other companies trading to the upside. Let me see some cybersecurity names doing anything. No, not quite. Okta, it's got its own thing going on. But yeah, Snowflake and Datadog, some sympathy plays to what you're seeing And that's coming from what you're seeing there out of Microsoft. So yeah, cloud revenues on Google is a little bit light. 8.4 billion versus 8.64 billion was the expectation. So even though they beat on overall revenue, they beat on the ad revenue, they beat on earnings per share, the cloud revenue came in light, and that's really where you're looked at Alphabet for a real growth driver for the company. And that's why you're getting the downward move on Alphabet versus Microsoft to the upside. I don't know. Is this maybe a little bit of an overreaction on Alphabet? I mean, they just missed their cloud revenue slightly. Does it warrant the stock to drop $4? I mean, technically, it's dropped 6 from the close, 4 from yesterday's close, so 4 on the day. Is that warranted? Listen, I think you got to wait until the conference call comes for Alphabet. Wait for the conference call, see what the CEO has to say about their cloud business. Because even though they missed slightly on that cloud revenue, the CEO, when they come out and they discuss this, you could have, I would assume he would address the cloud business. I would assume he addresses that, and that can move the stock, or that absolutely will move the stock once those conference calls begin. So, Visa's out, and Visa is heading to the upside. That is a beat on Visa. Visa earnings per share 233 beat versus 224 estimates. Sales were 8.61 billion. That's also a beat versus 8.55 billion. So far, all these earnings are actually a beat. Alphabet beat, Microsoft beat, Visa beat on the top line numbers here. But the only reason why Alphabet's trading to the downside is because of the lower than expected cloud revenue. But their overall revenue and their overall EPS is better than expected. So let's see. All right, so let's just check in here on Visa. I want to get more information on Visa's earnings to really see what they say about the consumer. Is really what I'm looking for. I can turn this down now. Earnings per share is a beat on Visa and revenue, so those are both beats. Payments volume are up 9% year over year. Processed transactions are up 10% year over year. So obviously we know that consumers are still spending, but we knew that. We knew that for a while now. The consumer has still been very, very strong. It's the whole reason why the market's up, why the market has been doing as well as it has, and why the economy has been doing as well as it has, because the jobs market's still strong. The consumer is still strong. People still have jobs. People are still getting paid. Yeah, wage growth is up. Inflation's starting to come down. People feel good. They have a job. You're not looking at a recession right now. And we know that. We knew coming into this that all the economic data that we've seen so far is showing you that the economy is holding up far better than most people had anticipated. Now the market is moving to the upside after you just got Visa's earnings. Visa's earnings kind of making the markets feel a little bit better about the consumer. And you're seeing us right now start to move back to the upside on the SPY on the back of this. I'm going to show you guys how to trade all of this. Smash that like button, guys. We've got about 1,500 people that are on this live. Smash that like button if you guys like the live instant analysis here on these earnings. And we'll go over the game plans and how I'm going to trade these stocks tomorrow, because Microsoft is going to be right at the top of my list. All right. Microsoft will be right at the top of my list. We are waiting on Snap earnings are now coming through. So Snap earnings are now coming through, guys. Let's see what Snap has to say. Snap trading up 23% as Snap is giving you a huge move to the upside. That is a huge move to the upside. So they beat on earnings per share, actually positive 2 cents. The expectation was they were going to lose 4 cents. They beat 2 cents earnings per share, positive versus an expectation of minus 4 cents in the negative. Revenue is also a beat. Look at you, Snap. 1.19 billion versus 1.11 billion expected. That is seeing that stock trade up 22% to the upside. Just be cautious with Snap. Snap's got some resistance up there around 1250. That, you know what, let me see. Does that make Alphabet move to the upside a little bit? No, Alphabet just goes kind of sitting there. What about Meta? Meta back to the upside. So Meta dropped in favor with Alphabet. When Alphabet came out, Meta dropped. But now it's Snap, Meta moving back to the upside. Meta's got earnings tomorrow. I don't like the fact that Meta moves. It happens all the time. When Snap has earnings, Meta moves based on Snap's earnings. And I just think I don't know why, because they're just not, I mean, I get they're in the same industry, but they're just not even the same caliber of company. They also announced a $500 million share buyback program for Snap. That's something that's new. Snap says Middle East war has caused. Snap says Middle East war has caused brand ad campaigns to pause. So ad campaigns, some brands are pausing their ad campaigns, says Snap. Just be careful with this move on Snap. I don't necessarily think that this move is going to hold. The stock is up 15% right now on the back of this, but I'm not confident this stock is going to be able to hold its move. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Snap back at, $10.50 to $10 tomorrow. Let's see. Microsoft is doing very well, holding these gains. That's what you like to see. You like to see those early gains stabilize. You don't want to see like the quick pop and then you just give it right back. Like you want to see stability. Alphabet is still weak, guys. Alphabet's down there trading near lows. Daily active users for Snap are right in line with expectations, 406 million. That's what was expected, and that's what they got. So Snap's up 13%, Microsoft's up 5%, and Alphabet's down 5% from the close. 5% now. Teladoc is a miss. No surprise there. I don't know. I got to be honest with you guys. I don't know why Kathy Wood loves some of these companies so much, like Teladoc, Robinhood, Roku, Zoom Video. I mean, these stocks have just done so incredibly poorly. Actually, there was news out that Kathy Wood actually sold some of her Coinbase position yesterday and then moved that money and actually started buying Robinhood, which – again, just a real head scratcher. In my opinion, there's just such better listen, Kathy Wood has a hell of a lot more money than I do and has been doing this for longer than I has, and she's smarter than I am. But some of her moves are a complete head scratcher. There are such better areas in this market to be making money that to just be sitting here dogging Robinhood, Teladoc, Roku, Zoom Video, it just blows my mind. I mean, there's so much better places to be in this market, like the semiconductors, like what you've seen with Broadcom and NVIDIA, even AMD, Microsoft. I mean, there's just Palo Alto. There's just such better places. There's just such better places to be in this market. And I don't know why that's where she continues to kind of hide out. It's a real head scratcher for me, but all right, so let's go over some of these levels, guys. Let's go over some of these levels. It's a mix. These earnings are mixed. That's why the market's really not moving. You see how the market's like not really moving here. The markets were hoping that we would get either a green light to go long and buy this dip or some real definitive momentum to the downside. And if you got both Alphabet and Microsoft earnings that came in better than expected, then that would be a green light to the markets to move higher. If they both came in under expectations, they both miss, that would have been a sign then, hey, okay, we're going to break that 4,200 on the S&P, and we'd be looking for then a nice momentum downside move. This support level is huge. All right. This support level, if you guys have been following the YouTube channel here for a while, then you guys know we've been talking about this level at nauseum. Seems like, for the last, several weeks, we've been talking about this level. That was huge resistance back in 2022 and a resistance earlier in 2023. Now you've dropped down into this area. And so far that level is holding. Okay. So far this level is holding. If you got worse than expected earnings from both Microsoft and Alphabet's really selling now, down over 6% now. If you got both of them that were negative, then I would look for this level to clearly break. Okay, I would look for that level to then clearly break if they were both negative and get you down to your next structure support level that I see that is at 410. And then after you pass 410, it's 404. And these are the next two support levels that I see for the SPY if this level gives way. Right now, I don't think the market is convinced on which direction it wants to go because you got a mixed bag with Alphabet heading to the downside, but Microsoft heading to the upside. And I really feel like these moves are canceling each other out. Really feel like you're canceling each other out. Google needs more time to develop their cloud services. They are not on the same level as Amazon. AWS is seen as a much better product for Amazon than you have the cloud with Alphabet. And that's what I was trying to get out before, is that Alphabet is really seen, that cloud business is really seen as a real revenue driver and a real growth driver for the company. And that's why the stock is down, because you might sit here and say, well, how come the stock is down if they didn't miss on their guidance, their earnings per share, their revenue and everything? If they beat on all of those things, why is the stock trading to the downside? Because investors look at the cloud services aspect of Alphabet's business as a real growth driver for them in years to come. So if you miss on that area, it makes people feel less confident about the growth that company could experience over the next couple of years. Very few major companies will choose Google over Amazon for their cloud infrastructure. Okay. So that's why Alphabet's heading to the downside. Now, Microsoft expects CapEx to increase in the coming years to support growth in cloud offerings and investments in AI infrastructure. So see the difference in commentary from Microsoft versus the commentary from Alphabet. Okay, so you're talking about CapEx increasing in coming years to support Microsoft's cloud business growth and obviously their investments in AI and AI infrastructure. So that is that's the real difference here, guys. And I think that this move completely cancels each other out. And that's why the NASDAQ has not moved. You are exactly where the market closed on the NASDAQ, and the SPY is exactly where they are from when the market closed. So even though you just had two of the biggest companies in the entire market come out with their earnings, the markets have not moved. And the markets, in my opinion, have not moved because it is seen as a wash. It's seen as a wash. And now it's going to be up to Meta tomorrow. Then Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow. Then you have Amazon earnings on Thursday. You have GDP data on Thursday. And you have PCE inflation on Friday. So you still have a laundry list of catalysts that are going to move this market, that are going to create volatility and give us trading opportunities. And that's why I'm excited. That's why I said yesterday and on Sunday evening that I believe that this is the most important week of the entire year. Because, I mean, just think about what I just said. You have like 30% of the S&P 500 is reporting earnings this week alone. And you've got Jerome Powell talking. Last time Jerome Powell talked, that was last week, he caused a market sell-off. So Jerome Powell's going to talk again tomorrow at around 4:30 in the afternoon. Then you need to get preliminary GDP data for Q3 to show us what's the economy look like for Q3 and what does that GDP number look like. You get that on Thursday. Then you need to get PCE inflation data, which is actually the inflation number that the Fed pays the most attention to, is that core PCE number. So that's going to be very important. And while all of that's going on, you have the wild card of a war in the Middle East potentially escalating. So the potential wild card of war in the Middle East spreading and rolling over into surrounding nations. And that would obviously be a problem for not just humanitarian, but also obviously be a problem in the overall markets. And that's your outlier and that's your wild card. Let's see, quick check, see if we have any other additional movements from any of these names. No, kind of digesting those initial moves now. Visa digesting initial move. Texas Instruments still down there near lows. So it's 2-2. Snap doesn't matter. Nobody really cares. Oh, look, and there's Snap actually getting back the move. So that's what I was saying. You see when I said like when Snap moved to $12, I was like, be careful there, guys. I wouldn't be surprised this thing goes back to $10. There it is, $10. All right, there it is, $10. So $10 there on Snap. All right, guys, let's go through how I plan on trading these things now coming into tomorrow. Let's talk about how we're going to trade these. Probably not going to trade Snap. I'm probably not going to trade Visa, but I am going to focus on Alphabet. I am going to focus on Microsoft. The one I'm going to probably look at the most is going to be Microsoft. And how I plan on trading this is there's two levels that I want to look at here. It's really going to depend on what happens with this conference call and what the stock ends up doing while they're going through the conference call. I want to make sure we stay above 340. 340 is a nice little level here. You see this previous pivot top in early September. Then you guys can see as we go back a little bit further, you'll see it was an area of support, broke it, it became resistance. Prior to that, it was resistance, right? You guys can see this level here. Okay. Now you're above that level. I want to make sure that tomorrow morning after they do their conference call, which will be within the next hour, after they do their conference call, I want to make sure the stock stays above 340. I want to make sure there's not anything that the CEO or the CFO says that causes the stock to retreat all the way back down into the low to mid 330s. I don't want to see that. I want to see this thing stay above 340 because if it does stay above 340, I think you can see some overall movement to the upside and we can be buyers down in front of that 340 level. So tomorrow morning, if I see Microsoft around 343, 344, right off the opening bell, we're going to look for the pullback to 340. I'm going to try that trade for the long, and then we're going to look for this to continue to the upside. Yields actually did move to the downside. I just see 10-year went down to 481 was the last print number that I just saw. So it is a sizable pullback in 10-year yields, which is good for tech stocks, good for the overall markets, good for stocks in general. So I'm going to see if there's maybe a long there for us on Microsoft after this earnings report. But again, it's all I need to see for confirmation is just make sure that we're still above this level after the conference call. All right. That's what I want to make sure, above that level after the conference call. Then when it comes down to Alphabet, what's the game plan here? How we plan on trading this? Unless something changes during the conference call for Alphabet, this will most likely also be a no trade for me. The stock is just kind of in the middle of nowhere. You're stuck in between two levels. And right here, I do not see a particular trade. I like the long if you get all the way down here underneath 130. I do like the long down here if you get there because that's a huge support level. We've traded this level many times in True Trading Group over the last several months because this level has just been such a clear and obvious area of support. And then prior to that, it was a very obvious level of resistance. All right. So you can see previous level of resistance, then it became support. That's a big level that if we get there, that I will look for the long, but you're too far away from it. And I gotta be honest with you, my gut tells me that this stock recovers after the conference call. I just think that I feel like this drop because of their cloud business is maybe an overreaction. And I think the CEO and CFO will address this during the conference call. And I think you can see Alphabet do something like this if they do address those issues on the conference call. All right. That is what I think. And if the markets give you any type of downside, folks, I up that short on Goldman Sachs. I know some members in True Trading Group took the trade to the short side on Goldman Sachs. This is one of the trades that we went over on Sunday evening for our trade ideas here coming into the week. And it is the break of that 304 support level. You guys can see it there. You broke under that 304 support level. And then we can see that over the last 4 trading days, that level has been acting as resistance. And what I'm looking for out of Goldman Sachs, ladies and gents, is more downside. I'm looking for 290 on Goldman Sachs. Here's the level that I'm looking for right here. This is my target. See that double bottom from September and October of last year? That's the level I'm looking at. Remember the big market crash in September and October? Well, took you right down into that double bottom. That's a huge level there for Goldman Sachs. And I'm looking for us to get down into that area over the next couple of days. So I would watch that trade still for the short. If the markets do move to the downside, let's say if tomorrow Meta's earnings disappoint, then maybe if Amazon's earnings disappoint, the market will sell off to the downside if that is the case. And then that undoubtedly, in my opinion, would take Goldman Sachs down to that 290 level. So eye it up. My boy Daddy Trades, I know you're on that trade already. We were talking about it today inside a chat. So for those of you that are already on this trade, stick with it. I think you're good to the downside. You just survived. Microsoft and Alphabet were not enough. Earnings were not enough to move this market higher. You're starting to drift back down just a little bit off that early morning pop. And I think that you're good to hold on to that position for the short. Oh, snap. Look at this. 950. 950. Snap in danger of going red after being up 23%. Well, hopefully that saved some people from chasing that stock. That's why we're saying, be careful there, guys. I don't think this stock's going to hold this move. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back to 10. Forget about 10. It went back to 950. Unreal. Now you're starting to get a little pullback now also. You're starting to get a little pullback now in Microsoft. See, this is the level. This is what I'm talking about. You'll see the market pull in. You'll see the market's now starting to pull itself in. Microsoft's really just what's holding us up here. Visa's still hanging in there, but Alphabet trading down. Texas Instruments trading down. And here comes Microsoft with a pullback. This is interesting. Let's see if Microsoft holds this area, guys. That'll be very interesting. That's the level. That is the level tomorrow morning that we want to see stick, that 340. All right. Oh, yes. All right, folks. Okay. I guess that's my game plan. That's how I plan on trading those names for tomorrow. All right. That is the game plan. So Microsoft back down there against that 340 level. We'll see if that area can hold. If it does hold, we look for that one for the long. Otherwise, I think I'm eyeing up, like I said, that Goldman Sachs short. Alphabet, I'm not looking for a trade there on Alphabet unless we get down into that support level that we talked about. And Visa's not on the watch list, and neither is Snap. I think Snap actually could end up being a short. I think Snap actually can go back to like 850. But with the $500 million share buyback program, I just don't think it's worth the trade on it. So I think we're going to be in that little bit of a holding pattern, guys. We're going to be waiting now because you got good Microsoft, bad Alphabet. Now you got Meta coming up, and you got Amazon coming up. And that's really, I think, what the market's going to come down to. Notice how you had a spike up in Amazon to the upside. Notice how Amazon moved higher, and then all of your other cloud companies like Snowflake moved higher because of what Microsoft had to say about cloud. So I think that there's a sympathy play there. You can be looking at Snowflake tomorrow as well as Datadog. I think those are sympathy plays. If you watch Microsoft, you can maybe trade those off of that, and then we'll see what Alphabet does with the conference call. All right. Uranium industry worth to get into? Yeah, actually, uranium, this was actually one of my calls for 2023. In my 2023 stock market outlook report, I issued what I believed was a good buy for 2023 in uranium. URA is the uranium ETF. It's done very, very well this year. And BWXT is my favorite company that is in the uranium space. They do a lot of work with nuclear, everything nuclear. I mean, honestly, everything nuclear. Nuclear as far as medicine, as far as energy, as far as nuclear submarines. I mean, this company does a lot of it. And this was one of the companies that we put in my stock market outlook for 2023 inside that report. When it was issued, the stock was $58. Now the stock is $76. And then also uranium, URA is just the ETF. If you just want to own an ETF, just to give you some nice diversity within, uranium names, that was around $20. Now it's sitting up here around 26 and looking pretty good. I think you got a little resistance here at 28.5, but if you can break 28.5, maybe you can see some more upside. I just feel like nuclear energy is going to be something that the whole premise behind that trade idea was everything that happened with Russia and how a lot of the European countries realized that they're too dependent on Russia for energy. And you had that energy crisis last year that I believe coming into this year, people would revisit nuclear energy because it's a good solution. It's green energy. It's sustainable. It's powerful, and unfortunately over the years, there was a couple of instances where you had some scares with nuclear power plants, and that really caused a shutdown of a lot of nuclear power plants. And like Germany shut down like 11 of their nuclear power plants, what ended up, turned out to be a mistake for them because they became too reliant on Russian oil and Russian energy. And I felt like that would cause like a political movement to go back into nuclear energy. And that's why I thought that this was going to be a nice play for 2023. And so far it's been great. It's been spot on. URA has done very well for us, as well as BWXT has done very well as well. So if you're talking about uranium and stuff, do I like it? I do. It's already something that we're in and that we're sitting on. BWXT is one of the stocks that I like the most when it comes to nuclear. And then entry points for BWXT, I think if the stock gets close to 70, I think that's a decent spot. You can see on the weekly chart, you see all of this resistance in 18, 19, 20, 21. You finally broke above that this year. Then it became support. Now you're getting a little bit of follow through. Any pullbacks back into this area, I think could be pretty decent for a buy, and see if BWXT could eventually make a move higher over the next couple of years as we lean more back to nuclear energy. So that's the premise behind that trade, BWXT. Look it up. Look up the company. Many of you may not be familiar with that company, but out of the nuclear companies, that is one of my favorites. All right. That is one of my favorites. How many people are on the live stream right now, guys, that are not members of True Trading Groups? Go ahead right now. Tell me if you guys are not members. I'm curious. We got about 1,800 people that are on the live. If you're not a member of the community, do me a favor and type the letters TTG inside chat. Let's see how many people we have on here that are not part of the community. Just go ahead, folks. Type the letters TTG if you are not a member of True Trading Group. Don't be shy. Let's see who we got. VR, Emmy, Stock King, Charles. Yeah, guys, we're gonna do a big open floor Q&A session in just a moment. So you guys are gonna be able to ask me whatever questions are on your mind. Great Dane, welcome back. Comet, Danny, Shaquille, Darshan. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a bounce now, guys, on Alphabet. Conference call not yet underway, I don't believe. Ghostly official. Phyllis Cordova, welcome back. Phyllis is turning into a repeat viewer. We'll get you part of the community soon, Phyllis. All right, good. So a handful of people here that are not part of the TTG family. Welcome, 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 guys. So for those of you if you're just joining us, we're covering what is going to be the most important week of earnings for the whole entire year. The markets are on edge. Yields have been moving to the upside. The markets have been going to the downside. We got the wild card of the war in the Middle East going on. People are worried about, is there going to be a recession? Is there going to be a soft landing? Is the Fed going to raise rates more? Is inflation going to come back down, or is it going to start going up again? But markets are really at an inflection point right here. And quite frankly, I really don't care whether or not the markets go up or down, because there's just been such great trading opportunities. I'm telling you, there's never been a better time to be a trader. There really hasn't. Very selfishly, I want the markets to go down. People are talking about recession. Oh, maybe it's next year. I honestly I want the market to go down, to be honest with you, because when markets go down, stocks make bigger moves. Stocks make bigger moves in shorter periods of time. That's the definition of volatility. And that is what allows us as traders to be able to capitalize on these movements and have, triple digit gain trade opportunities, every single week. We had 6 triple digit gains last week, 7 the week before that, and 7 the week before that. So you're actually looking at 20. We've had 20 triple digit gains in the last 3 weeks. And that's just, this is the environment that that gives you that kind of opportunity. That's not normal. It's not normal to have 20 triple digit gains called out on a trading platform in a course of 3 weeks. It's incredible. It's a testament to the trading skill and the analysis that we have as members of True Trading Group. But you don't believe me? I'll ask members themselves. Guys, true or false? Members of True Trading Group, did we or did we not have 20 triple digit gains in the last 3 weeks? Just like true or false. Just like true or false in chat. Members. I know I just talked to people that are not members, but for those of you that are members, true or false? Because if you're not a member, how could you believe me that we had 20 triple digit gains in the last 3 weeks? So if you're not a member and you doubt what I'm saying, just read some of the comments that come through chat. These are members of True Trading Group that are telling you whether or not I'm speaking truth or I'm speaking lies. One thing you'll get from us at True Trading Group, guys, is full transparency and honesty. Always. All of our green trades, all of our red trades, all of our executions, everything's loaded up on our website. You guys can see all the trading activity from all the moderators. It's not just me. There's 9 professional traders that are part of True Trading Group. We all have different styles. Some of us are day traders. Some of us are swing traders. Some of us trade stocks. Some trade options. Some trade futures. There is literally something for everybody inside of True Trading Group. Tobias says, every day I'm having like 2 to 3 triple digit gains. That's sick. It's absolutely sick. Shaquille says, I want to learn more about the group. Excellent, man. You're in the right spot. So guys, like I said, we're going to start things off. I'm going to open things up to a blanket open floor Q&A session. We'll open this up for a blanket open floor Q&A session. I'll let you guys ask me whatever questions on your mind. You have questions about earnings. You have questions about, a stock maybe that I did not mention yet. Some about the overall markets. You guys can go ahead and fire them off in chat and I'll answer anything that you guys want to know. So go ahead, guys, type your questions in chat right now. Start typing your question in chat. Remember, there is no such thing as a stupid question. Okay, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Asking questions is how you learn. Is Google good for a long-term portfolio? I think so. It's in my long-term portfolio. I added to it last year when the market sold off. I have not added to it this year, but I did add to it last year. And it is a stock that I've owned for a very long time. It is a stock that I'm going to continue to own for a very long time. So do I think that Alphabet is a good stock for the long-term portfolio? I absolutely do. Now, you have to realize when we bought this stock, it was around $105, $106, $107. Now it's trading up at $134. So just, full transparency, right? That area is where the stock would have to get back to see. That's where I bought it last year. But I've owned this for many, many years. I've owned Alphabet for, a decade. So, but I just added to it last year when the market sold off. But I still think this stock goes higher over the course of the next 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. I plan on being a shareholder for a long time. Nice. You just bought some Google today. It says comment. Just go ahead and type your questions in chat, guys. Open floor Q&A. You guys can ask me whatever's on your mind. Glad you had 20 triple digit gains, but anyone other than you make anything? Nope, Rob, it's just me. Nobody else. Nobody else in True Trading Group made $1. They all actually lost and blew up their entire account. Just kidding. Yes, it's a great question, right? Because you see a lot of times people that maybe have been parts of other trading groups or other trade alert services or platforms before where you feel like you're always chasing alerts. You can never get in when the trader gets in. And by the time you get in, the trader's getting out. I'm sure a lot of you have kind of experienced that yourselves. The thing that makes True Trading Group different from a lot of other companies out there is that our moderators and I, there's 9 of us, our moderators will tell you what we're going to do before we actually do it. You know where our orders are. You know what stocks we're paying attention to. You know what we need to see in order to enter a position and in order to get out of a position, because we discuss the plan with you ahead of time. Not only do we give you the watch list pre-market with the stocks we're focused on with our entry and exit prices, but during the trading session from pre-market to all the way through into the close, we are talking with you. We're talking to you on the microphone like I'm talking to you now, sharing our screen with you like I'm sharing my screen with you now, and telling you exactly what we're going to be doing. So you don't have to worry about chasing alerts. Okay, we're also not scalpers that are in and out within seconds or minutes. Our day trades last several hours. Our swing trades last several days. That is why so many of our members are making money and they're becoming better traders. And again, you don't have to take my word for it, Rob. Watch this. Members, I'm going to ask you specifically, if you're a member of True Trading Group, type the number 1 if you guys are making money and you're becoming better traders. If you made money on some of those 20 triple-digit gains that we had in the last 3 weeks, go ahead and type the number 1 inside chat right now. If you guys are making money and becoming better traders, don't take my word for it. You shouldn't take my word for it. I'm just some guy on YouTube with a Yankee hat. Read some of the comments that are coming through. These are your members of True Trading Group. These are your peers. These are your friends, your family members, your coworkers. If they can do it, so can you. They've had every single excuse and limitation that you've put on yourself on why you can't do this. They've been there. We have a mobile app. I do not expect you to sit in front of a computer screen and sit and chat with us all day, every day. I don't expect you to do that. Nobody has time to do that. Okay. That's why we have a mobile app. All you need is a cell phone. If you can listen to music during the day, then you can follow along with everything that goes on in True Trading Group. We send you real-time push notifications, not delayed text messages, real-time push notifications through our app that will tell you in real time when one of our moderators enters or exits a position. That is how so many of our members are able to follow along, even though they're busy working full-time jobs. 82% of our members have full-time jobs. The rest are either retired or full-time traders. So you're not alone if you think that you've got a busy schedule. I don't have time. I can't do this, right? You don't have to be sitting in front of sitting in our chat room all day long in front of a computer screen. You know, most of our, like I said here, members, one more time, guys, I'm sorry. Type the number 1 and tell me what you do for a living if you're making money while working a full-time job. Do me a favor. Type number 1 and tell me what you do for a living if you guys are making money while working a full-time job. Now, for those of you that are not members, read the comments, see if you see somebody that maybe does the same thing for a living that you do, right? So I'll read some of them: a physician, HR, accounting rep, paralegal, bakery owner, right? You guys can read some of these comments. These are people that have full-time jobs. Small business owner, medical staffing, robotic vehicle programmer, mechanic, accountant, own my own business, golf instructor, paramedic, firefighter, high-touch operations manager at Cisco, sales manager, oil and gas industry. So you guys, I'm not going to keep reading it, but you guys get the point. You guys can read some of those comments. Those are people that have busy full-time jobs, yet here they are, still benefiting from the platform and making money with your trading group because of the mobile apps that we have. Like I said, I don't expect you to sit in front of a computer all day, every day. Let us do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. All right, guys, I'm doing an open floor Q&A session right now for those that are tuning in. You guys can ask me anything that's on your mind, any stocks you want to know about. Visa is giving back. Guys, I got to tell you, man, even the up moves, like Visa is giving you a pullback. Microsoft is trying to stabilize. Microsoft's really the kind of the lone shining star. Long one. Jessica says, last year you had made an analysis that you believed the SPY could make a big U-shaped recovery, and it definitely has since then. Yes, it has. I was correct on that call. On the weekly chart, do you see a cup and handle possibly? I do. I do see the possibility of a cup and handle pattern. So this is the big U-shape. This is the big U that the person is referring to. Okay, here's the big U. Right. So this is what I was saying about last year when we were going through the, I think it was actually in the summer. I think it was in June was when we were talking about this, about the possibility of this rounded big U-shaped recovery. And what that essentially forms for you is a cup and handle pattern. So Jessica, very nice eye. You can see there's the up move. Here's the cup. And then right here is your handle, right? Right there is your handle. Okay. Now, this is the reason why I believe that the markets are really at an inflection point. Markets, I think, are at an inflection point because this is the handle. And in order for, if this chart pattern is going to actually give you the breakout, then you need to break out of the candle, out of the handle, and then continue the uptrend. That would take the market back to all-time highs. Now, there's some strategists and there's some analysts out there that believe that this market's going to all-time highs next year. You have others that believe we're going to have a recession. I've never in my life, I've been doing this over 17 years, I've never in my life seen such discrepancy between bullish and bearish analysts. So usually when you look at 25 different analysts, right, from all the big firms like Oppenheimer and JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and Citi and Deutsche and everything else, right? You look at all these big companies. Usually when you look at who's the most bullish with their price target for the end of the year, and then who's the most bearish, usually that spread from the most bearish case to the most bullish case is not that large. I've never seen this big of a range. We saw it last year, and you're seeing it again this year. I've never seen, when you look at the most bullish case of like 500 and the most bearish case of like, 340. Like, I mean, it's just the distance is so insane. And that just shows you how torn Wall Street community really is. So I think that this is a very important moment for the markets, which is why I believe that this week is crucial to what the market does for the rest of this year. I really do, because if Meta and Amazon, if those earnings disappoint, I think that the market breaks this support level. And if this support level breaks, then this cup and handle pattern breaks down. And then you look for downside to, the low 400s. It's only Tuesday. I'm telling you guys this right now. We're making money the rest of this week off of this action. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. We're going to keep the streak of triple-digit gains going. We had 6 last week, 7 the week before that, 7 the week before that. And now that you're getting these earnings coming out, Jerome Powell talks tomorrow, GDP Thursday, inflation Friday, Meta earnings Wednesday, Amazon earnings Thursday. This is going to create a lot of volatility and a lot of trading opportunities for us. Irv Gotti, new member, what's up? Welcome. Will the market go up or down if we get into the
Irv Gotti?
Why was I, as soon as I read Irv Gotti, I just had a feeling you were going to say something. If we get involved in the conflict in the Middle East, the markets will go down initially. The markets will go down initially. What you guys have to realize is that throughout history, there have been a lot of wars. There have been a lot of wars that the U.S. has been involved in, and there have been a lot of wars the U.S. has not been involved in. Every single time throughout history, when the United States has gotten into a war, the market's initial reaction of uncertainty of outcome causes a drop, but in the long run, that ends up being a buy. Every single time. You can go all the way back to the Korean War. Go all the way back to the Korean War. Every single time that you had any type of occurrence, it was a drop, and then the markets ended up recovering and moving to the upside. So any drop on the U.S. entering the situation in the Middle East, I think, is an opportunity for people to start selectively looking to add in your long-term portfolio. The biggest reason why you'd see that decline is because oil prices will skyrocket. Oil prices will go higher because if Iran gets involved, the U.S. gets involved, the U.S. sanctions Iranian oil, and that's going to be a problem for oil supply, and that would cause oil prices to move higher. You just got really weak economic data come out of Europe, and that's why oil prices have come down the last 2 days. Oil has actually sold off the last couple of days. Oil has pulled back, and that's because of demand concerns, because Europe's economy is nowhere near as strong as the United States, not even close. They're actually having a tough time in Europe. So there's concerns there about demand for oil. That's why oil pulled back. But if you take Iranian oil off of the market, and there's sanctions there, and there's war, and there's conflict in the Middle East that expands outside of just Gaza and southern Israel, then you have concerns about oil shipments that go through the Strait of Hormuz, like a ridiculous amount. I forgot the exact percentage. I used to know it. It's like 20-something% of all the world's oil goes through that area. And if there's real serious military conflict with Iran, that's going to be a problem. And that would put a damper on oil supply. Oil prices then start to spike higher, and that would cause stock prices to move to the downside. It would also cause potentially inflation to start to tick back up, and that's a problem. And that's why the markets would initially sell off to the downside. All right. Keep the questions coming, folks. Is Alphabet making a comeback? Yep, 134. I'm saying just wait for the conference call. I'm telling you guys, wait for the conference call. The conference call will give you the direction. The stock is down for one reason and one reason only, and that is they missed on their cloud revenue. It's the only reason the stock is down. If the CEO or CFO says anything on the conference call that eases investors' worries about the future of their cloud growth, this stock goes back to green. It's down for only that reason. They beat on revenue. They beat on earnings per share. They just missed on the specific segment of revenue that is cloud services. So wait for the conference call. Should be kicking off in the next 30 minutes or so. Any thoughts on CTM? Been eyeing it, especially with the news conflicts. What? I don't even know what. I don't know if that's the right ticker symbol. If it is, it's a 30-something cent stock that does absolutely no volume. So not something I'm going to pay attention to. Shop. My thoughts on Shop? My thoughts on Shop is that it's just not in play right now. I honestly think there's better things to trade than Shop. If you want to trade Shop, this is a range trade. So if you're a range trader, you're a channel trader, this is a stock you'd want to look for. But if you are looking for breakouts, this is not the stock, and looking for directional momentum, this is not the stock to be looking at. Support level you have down here in front of 50. It's been support for the last month and a half. Used to be resistance back there in April. And then you have a huge resistance level up here at 56. I mean, you guys can all see this. You can see gap down in September, resistance, 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 resistance. Now this dark blue line's the 50-day moving average. That's coming into play. And I think that is a huge level of resistance up there for the overall market. So as Shopify gets up into the mid 50s, like 55, I actually think it's a pretty good short setup to then drop back down to the low 50s. I think you can play a couple dollar of that range, low volatility, use that support, use that resistance to position yourself long and short until that range eventually ends up breaking. But right now, that range is firmly intact. Channel traders delight. Would a war drop and recovery be intraday? No, it would not be intraday. It would be over the course of probably a couple of weeks. It also depends on the war, right? Like it also depends like what actually happens. You know, I mean, the war could always escalate further and further. I mean, it really depends on what happens. But if you just get like, I don't know. I'm not going to talk on hypotheticals on what might happen in the Middle East, but if the U.S. was to get involved, you'd have an initial reaction to the downside, but then does it spill over and does it escalate further? Like you have to look at what happened with Russia and Ukraine. When Russia invaded Ukraine, the stock market tanked, but then everybody was worried that Russia would then, after Ukraine, they would go into other countries like Poland, and that didn't happen. And the markets immediately recovered within the next couple of weeks after the initial invasion into Ukraine. So it really did, but if let's say if that escalated and let's say that spilled over and Russia went into Poland, then the markets would not have recovered like that. The markets would have looked at that as a World War III scenario. NATO now has to get involved, means the US gets involved, and the markets would have gone down again. So it depends on the escalation of the conflict. Is Tesla a good stock for the short and long term? I like Tesla. I mean, I own Tesla in my long-term portfolio. This is a big support level for the stock. I'll tell you, where I'm looking to, if I see these prices again, I'm not making a call that this is where the stock is going, but if I see these prices again down in this region, I'm going to buy more. I already own Tesla in my long-term portfolio. I've owned it for the last couple of years. Unfortunately, I did not buy Tesla back here, but it is a stock that is in my long-term portfolio. I do plan on buying more. You have a beautiful downtrend line here that you can wait for a break of that downtrend if you want to get long. but I'd say that this is a beautiful level, a beautiful downtrend resistance line that you can trade off of. And then if the time comes when you gap above this level, then that could be a buy signal for you to get long and then look for the stock to continue to the upside. So I like Tesla. It is a stock that I do own. Will Tesla ever get to 140? I don't know. Wait. Snap beat expectations, but it's still a miss. Was not expecting it to sell off the spike this bad. I mean, I was. Yeah, that's why I said, like, when this thing spiked, that's why I said to you guys, I was like, be careful. The stock was up 23%. I'm like, I don't think the stock's going to hold that move. Their earnings were not bad. But here's the problem with Snap. Due to the unpredictable nature of war in the Middle East, believe it would be imprudent to provide formal guidance for the fourth quarter. That is such a cop-out piece of garbage comment. That's trash. Like, how you're going to use conflict in the Middle East as a reason why you are not going to give guidance for the fourth quarter? I'm sorry, Snap. What does Israel and Hamas, that situation, what does that have to, that has a major impact on your business? Alphabet doesn't have a problem with it. I assure you, Meta's not going to say that tomorrow. Meta's not going to come out and say, oh, you know what? We're not going to give guidance because of what's going on in the Middle East. It's a total cop-out comment. It's a company that is not happy about their guidance. They don't feel good about their guidance, and they're going to use any excuse they possibly can to say, I'm not going to give you guidance. Not because our guidance sucks. I'm not going to give you guidance because of this other reason. It's a total cop-out. And I feel like they're using that as an excuse to not give guidance. It's BS. So if you really want it, that's my honest opinion on why the stock ended up moving back to the downside. That's my honest opinion. Yes, they beat on earnings per share. Yes, they beat on revenue. Their daily active users came right in line with expectations. But then you say, oh, we've had some brands pause their ad campaigns because of what's going on in the Middle East. Alphabet didn't say that. Alphabet didn't say that some of their ad campaigns were paused. I can assure you Meta's not going to say that tomorrow. And maybe if Meta says that tomorrow, maybe Snap actually moves higher. Because then maybe people feel that Snap is actually legit. Maybe Snap is telling the truth here. But I think that investors heard that and was like, that's total BS, and they sold the stock. That's my opinion. That's why I think Snap sold off. I don't own Snap in my long-term portfolio, and I have absolutely no intentions on adding it in my long-term portfolio. Do you think it's a good or bad idea to only want to grow an account as big as you can? I don't need any of the money I make in the stock market. My goal is only to grow and grow and grow. Thoughts? I mean, sure, Ricky. I mean, you want to, of course you want to. Adam wants me to ask him. And now he said, never mind. Of course, you want to grow your account, but what I advise people is that as you grow your account, take money out to pay yourself. Like, don't just infinitely grow a trading account. That doesn't make sense. You can infinitely grow a long-term portfolio. You should not be infinitely trying to grow a trading account. A trading account should only have enough capital in it that you need to get to the position size that you require when you're trading. Otherwise, you have just cash sitting in your trading account that is literally doing nothing, that you should be putting to work somewhere else. You should be looking at, like, let's say if you're growing your account and you go from 10K to 20K to 50K to 75K to 100K to 150K. But when you're trading, you don't use 150K in buying power. Let's say you only use 50K in buying power. Just making up a number. I'm not sure whatever you trade with. It could be $1 million. It could be $5 million, whatever it is. If you're not using that buying power, then get the money out of the account. Go put it into something else. Go put into a long-term portfolio. Go buy shares of NVIDIA. Go buy shares of AMD. Go buy shares of Tesla. Go buy shares of Snowflake. Go buy shares of Adobe. Like, go invest the money somewhere else instead of just letting cash sit in your trading account. That doesn't make sense. You should only keep the amount of cash in your trading account that you need for your buying power. I'm holding some SPY puts overnight. If the market gaps down overnight and gives a red candle in the first 15 minutes of trading tomorrow. Okay. I mean, that wasn't a question. If I agree, I mean, I think tomorrow I expect a quiet, like a muted open tomorrow. I don't necessarily think that you're going to get like a big gap up or a big gap down. I think the markets might be a little bit range bound tomorrow. And, could you drop, $1.50 or so in the first 15 minutes? Sure. But I'm not sure if there was a question there. Is AI stock good for trading? Yeah, it's okay if you like lower volatility stuff. AI is okay if you like lower volatility. You got a big support level at 23.5. I'll show you. Here's 23.5 right there. Beautiful support level. And you got nice resistance here at the 200-day. This is actually a really easy level. You can see this yellow line. That's your 200-day moving average. And now you have a death cross. A death cross is when the 50-day moving average, which is the dark blue line, crosses under the yellow line on my screen, which is the 200-day moving average, and you're about to get that death cross. So that's a big level of resistance there. So any push up into that level, I would look for a short on AI and look for AI to get back down to that 23.5. So I'd say short 27.5, taking profits off 23.5 is a nice little level there, or a nice trade idea for AI. Eventually, I think AI actually works its way back down to here before it gets back to here. Those are my thoughts. And that 27.5, that death cross could be a good spot to get into the position. And then if you roll back to 23.5, you take some profit off, but then hold some in case that level breaks. Because if that level breaks, you should go back to at least 20. At least 20. So those are my thoughts on AI. Qualcomm has been beaten down this year. Do you see a potential recovery with good tech earnings, or are there fundamental reasons for more downside? It's funny that you said that. Qualcomm is in my long-term portfolio. It has not done as well as the others. I like Qualcomm. I'm not really sure why it's done so poorly. I mean, it hasn't done poorly. It's just not doing as well as other semiconductors. But if you take a look at this chart, like you go to a weekly chart on Qualcomm, I mean, man, you can see this huge level, right? You guys can see this huge level here. That was 2000. That was the dot-com bubble. Then you can see resistance there in 1920. Then you finally broke out during the COVID rally. And you've pulled back, and now you're just trying to hold above it. So if you're going to be long Qualcomm, I mean, honestly, that's the place to do it, right? That's the place to do it. And if you break back underneath 90, then cut it. You get underneath 90, cut it. But that could be, if that becomes support, which used to be, 2 decades of resistance, then you look for upside then over the next decade. So I own Qualcomm, and I'm going to stay in it. I'm going to stay in it. Probably if the stock gets underneath $90, then I'll probably start thinking about cutting it loose. But I would like to see if that area acts as a level of support now, and see if there's maybe a chance for the stock to recover as the years go on. But has definitely underperformed some of the others. How do you feel about high dividend stocks versus traditional stocks doing covered calls, income in your long-term portfolio? That's a great question. You got to be careful with high dividend paying stocks. A lot of people don't realize that dividends change over time. And as the price of the stock changes, your dividend yield can change. And you don't want to buy a stock just because it has a high dividend, because you can have a stock that pays you a 7% dividend, but if the stock goes down 10% that year, you're down 3% on your money. I'd rather own a stock that pays me a 1% dividend and is up 18% on the year, right? So you want to be careful not falling into what's called a dividend trap. A dividend trap is buying a company that has no growth just to capture a dividend, and you don't get any share price appreciation whatsoever. You would much rather have low to medium dividend, but also have a chance of share price appreciation. Oil stocks for the last decade have really been dividend traps, where people buy them because like, oh, I can get a 5% dividend. Well, great, but the stock was down, 5% on the year, so you're flat. Meanwhile, the S&P is up 11%. Like, they become dividend traps. So that was oil stocks before you had the whole situation go on with COVID and oil prices skyrocketing and everything. Before all of that, for the last decade, it was not good to just hold on to oil stocks. Now, oil stocks have actually become very attractive because these stocks actually finally made a move to the upside, right? Like if you were to take a look, at Chevron, look at Chevron, look at literally Chevron over the last, look at what the stock has done, right? It really hasn't gone up since 2013. It's the same high. So like if you're just owning this for the dividend, then you drastically underperformed owning like the NASDAQ. You drastically underperformed. So don't fall into the trap of just, oh, look, a good dividend, I'm going to go buy it. It's not necessarily the right move. So I think that you should implement, a diversified approach. Like for me, I have a dividend portfolio of companies that pay dividends, but they're also companies that I think can give me some share price appreciation. They have given me share price appreciation. Now, oil stocks are in there because they've done very well over the last couple of years. That was actually my number one sector pick 2 years ago, was the oil sector, and that ended up doing very, very well for us. I took profits on those positions, but I still own some of them. Healthcare stocks, I like dividends in healthcare stocks like ABBV pays a really nice dividend. You can get dividends in some really nice healthcare stocks. And then, some consumer staples can pay you some decent ones. Utilities pay very nice dividends, but utilities are getting the crap kicked out of them because of high interest rates. So you got to be careful falling into the trap of also utilities. Like I own NEE as a utility. The stock's gotten hit really, really hard in the last month or so because of the increase in interest rates. And the reason for that is because a lot of people will go and they'll buy a utility because they feel like, especially a utility that is actually in your area, because you pay your utility bill, right? If you own shares of the company that you are paying your utility bill to, that company issues you a dividend. So essentially the company is giving you back some of the money that you're giving it. So they pay very high dividends. You can get 7, 8, 9% dividends on some of these utility companies. I think I've seen one even as high as like 10, 11%. But people go there specifically for the dividend. But as interest rates rise, some of these companies have a lot of debt. It's a problem for them because their debt obligations rise. But then also investors say, well, why am I going to go here and get 6% with equity risk on the dividend if I can go over here and buy a US bond and get 5.5%? Then what's the point? I can take the money out of there and have no risk at all, and then move that money into a fixed income treasury or a bond. And that's why those stocks have gotten hit. All utility companies have gotten hit in the last month for that reason. Oof, there we go, Alphabet. Alphabet now starting to move further to the downside, guys. Alphabet actually just broke that earnings low. That earnings low was 131 and change. We just broke it a little bit down to 130 and a half. Yeah, that's good. The market's starting to bleed a little bit. Markets are now lower than where we were when we closed. See, we're starting to just bleed just a little bit. I feel like a TTG boss. I sold the run calls at 50%, high 52. I sold ARM calls at 40 cents, high 41. Octa calls at 150, high 151. We'll be dressing up as a sniper trading robot for Halloween. Way to go, Jimmy, man. That's incredible. Damn near top tick in your trades. Congrats, bro. Congrats. So yeah, folks, keep typing your questions. So we're doing an open floor Q&A session here. Visa gave back its move too. So Visa gave back that early pop also, guys. Microsoft's trying to hang in there. Texas Instruments. Yeah, Texas Instruments, Snap, Alphabet. Is this that tradable zone for Google long? Not yet. Not yet, almost. It's right down here. I'm telling you guys, conference calls was what it comes down to. Conference calls, what it comes down to. Let me see, actually, if we have. Let me see. Waymo gradually adding users. Alphabet Inc. expects Q4 headwinds in their hardware side. So this is the comment that just took us to a new low. Alphabet expects Q4 headwinds in their hardware segment, says Q3 CapEx was $8 billion with their largest component in servers and data centers. Guys, do me a favor. I want to see something real quick. I'm going to do something a little unique here. Do me a favor. Type the number 5 in chat right now if you're not a member of True Trading Group and you have also never been a trial member. If you're not a member of True Trading Group and you have never been a trial member, type the number 5. If you're not a member and have never been a trial, type the number 5, please. I want to see who we have on here that fits that description. Wasabi, Danny, Yellen, Jamie, Joe. Mo, Chad. Just type the number 5. If you're not a member and have never been a trial. Sasa. Limesy. Spidey's had a little bit of a pop. Robert, Garav. Listen, every one of you that's typing the number 5, everyone that just typed the number 5, I want to invite you guys to join our trial membership tonight. I want to invite you to join our trial. Our trial is 7 days. It's 7 trading days. This is going to be a huge week, guys. You got Meta earnings tomorrow. You got Jerome Powell speaking tomorrow. You have GDP data Thursday and then Amazon earnings Thursday. And then you have PCE inflation data Friday. The weekend does not count against your 7 days. So it's 7 full trading days. I invite you guys to come join myself, the other 9 professional traders in True Trading Group, because I'm telling you now, I'm going to be back on this YouTube channel over the next 3 days. And I'm going to tell you about a triple-digit gain that we hit inside of chat, possibly multiple. I'm telling you that now. I'm giving you fair warning. Otherwise, you're going to come back on the YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about it. You're going to kick yourself in the ass. I'm going to ask members to type 1 if they've made money. And you're going to be sitting there like, damn, I could have been one of the people that typed the number 1. I am inviting you now. I'm telling you right now, the moderators and I are looking to keep that triple-digit gain streak going. And with the volatility that I expect with these catalysts this week, we're going to have plenty of opportunities to do so. Go to ttgthree.com. That's ttg3 spelled out.com. Okay. That's TTG3 spelled out.com. It is a one-time payment of $3. There is no automatic renewal. There is no reoccurring payment. It is a one-time payment of $3. The reason why we charge you $3 is to make sure that you're a real person. We have thousands of people that are in our chat room during the day that are all focused on making money. I do not want someone that's going to come into our chat as a trial, as a guest, and start spamming a bunch of nonsense and distract people away from their goal, which is making money. So we charge you $3 just to make sure that you're in fact a real person. And then after your 7-day trial is up, it simply just expires. You're never charged anything ever again. You would need to manually upgrade to become an annual member. It does not happen automatically. There's no reoccurring payment. There's no additional fee. It's just a one-time payment of $3. You can join us for 7 full days. Okay. That's TTGTHREE.com. Now, next question. Okay. And when you go to TTGTHREE.com, just enter your name, email, phone number, click yes, I want this, fill out the form, and sign up. You guys are good to go. 7 trading days with us, not calendar days, 7 trading days. Now, next.
Real quick, I'm going to personally guarantee everyone that signs up for the trial tonight, you are going to make 100% on your investment into this trial membership. You're going to spend the $3. If you don't sign up, I'm going to give you back $6.
Look at that. Easiest double up you guys have ever had.
That is the easiest double up you've ever had in your entire life. That's the deal. You want to make $6? You want to make an extra $3? Sign up, do the trial.
So a double your money back guarantee on the trial.
Not even double your money back. Just come up right quick, get a quick double up. That's like a gallon of premium gas in California.
That is nowhere near a gallon. $3. That is
I meant $6.
Oh, $6. Yeah. Yeah, $6. So yeah, guys, TTGTHREE.com. And now, next question. If you have previously been a trial or you've previously been a member of True Trading Group, do me a favor and type the number 6. If you previously were a trial member or you previously were an annual member, type the number 6, please. When do you broadcast? Asked Nicholas. Nicholas, we go live, brother. Our chat room opens up pre-market around 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we go through with you guys for the entire day. We're with you all the way and through the close. The moderators, 9 professional traders that are with you during the day. We're all there with you from open to close. So again, guys, type the number 6 if you used to be a trial member or you used to be an annual member. Type the number 6 if you fit that description. Used to be a trial, used to be an annual member. We got Hazel and Jordan. Do you discuss options or stocks mostly? Nicholas, we do stocks, options, and futures. So there's 9 professional traders, and we all have different styles. So some of us trade stocks, some of us trade options, some of us trade futures, some of us day trade, some of us swing trade. Every day in True Trading Group, Nick, we have day trades and swing trades alerted, and we have stocks, options, and futures alerted. Okay, so there's something for everybody inside of True Trading Group, regardless of what trading style you implement. And the moderators and I collectively as a group have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate on all of our executions of just around 80% now, going on roughly the last 4 years. The only thing we don't trade in TTG is Forex. Now, for those of you that are typing the number 6, okay, for those of you typing the number 6, if you are interested in a one-time offer to come home to True Trading Group right now, it's a take it or leave it basis. I'm going to give you a phone number to text. This will be a take it or leave it offer that we're going to give you if you guys used to be a member or used to be a trial member. Text 1-888-306 8783 right now. 1-888-306-8783. Text that number right now. If you are one of the people that type the number 6, I'm going to offer you a take it or leave it one-time offer to come home to the True Trading Group. Text that number if you want to know what it is. And if you want to take it, excellent. I'll see you guys back in chat tomorrow. If you don't, the offer is off the table. It's a take it or leave it deal. 1-888-306-8783. If you are one of the people that type the number 6. Trader Newbie says, how many trades do you make daily and at what times, please? Trader Newbie, there are 9 professional traders with you during the day. So there are several trades that are alerted throughout the course of a day. And we are with you from open to close. So the majority of the trades do take place in the morning, but we also do place trades in the afternoon. And we're not scalpers. We're not in and out of our positions within seconds or minutes. Our day trades last hours. Our swing trades last days. All right. So guys, listen, if you want to see how we operate, like Trader Newbie's asking a bunch of questions. I saw, Nick's asking a bunch of questions. Guys, honestly, if you guys are interested, just sign up for the trial. Come be part of the group for 7 days. See if you like it. Communicate with myself and the other pro traders in there. Talk to members. Really feel what it's like. Familiarize yourself with our platform, right? You start using our tools and navigating the platform and see what it's like to be part of the community. Just join the trial. It's 7 days. Go to ttgthree.com. All right. Enter your name, email, phone number. Click yes, I want this. Fill out the form, and you guys are good. You'll trade with myself and the rest of the gang for 7 days, and we'll go through all these crazy catalysts together. We got, like I said, Meta earnings, Jerome Powell speaks, Amazon earnings, GDP data, and then PCE inflation data. So we'll trade all that together with the whole group. Yes, way to go, Danny. Danny says, I just joined TTG 7-day trial. Hell yeah. Yeah, so Nicholas, Trader Newbie, and I feel there was somebody else that was asking questions earlier. Just sign up for the trial, guys. Sign up for the trial if you guys are interested. Otherwise, if you used to be a trial member or you used to be a member and you guys want to come back home, we're going to offer you a one-time take it or leave it payment, our payment option. So send a text to 1-888-306-8783. That's 1-888-306-8783. All right, folks. Nicholas, I like that, bro. Says, I'm not looking for fun. My goal is to make money, not gamble. Every time I buy options, I do so educated. Nicholas, just so you know, what Peter Parker was referring to is buying options right before an earnings announcement. Is the risk reward is never going to be in your favor, because of the IV crush the next day following the earnings. So if you buy a call option or a put option, let's say you buy a call option, if the stock goes down, you lose money. If the stock goes sideways, you also lose money because of the IV crush. The only way you're going to make money is if you get a sizable move to the upside. And it usually does not necessarily, you need a huge move in order for you to cover the risk, because when you buy an option going into earnings, you're typically risking 100% of that position. Because if you get the direction wrong, let's say you bought call options on Google, right? If you bought call options on Google, let's say you bought like the 145 call, when you wake up tomorrow morning and the market opens, that option will be down 98%, 99%, right? So it's that's where that gamble comes from. That's what he's referring to. So don't take offense to him saying that you'll have more fun at a casino. That's where that comes from. That's all. It's just a matter of the IV crush when you're going into an earnings announcement like that. Mike and team, I've been watching your YouTube for the last year. Finally made the decision to join. Mike, you were spot on several occasions, so don't stop now. I don't plan on it. I don't plan on stopping now. My analysis is good, is very good, guys. Danny, how much does it say it is to join now as a trial? Type it in chat. As a trial member, Danny, how much does it say for you right now it is to join our membership? Just type it in chat, Danny, if you see that. Snap is green. Yeah, 50 cents. Danny says there it is, $1,420. That's how much it says it's going to cost you to join the annual membership if you wanted to right now as a trial member. That's what I'm telling you guys. If you used to be a trial member, we're going to give you guys a one-time take it or leave it. Send a text, guys, like I said, to that number at the bottom of the screen, 1-888-306-8783. All right. If you guys used to be a trial or used to be a member and you guys want to come back home, it's a take it or leave it deal. We're going to give you this one-time offer. You want it, take it. You don't, that's it. Danny, if you want to join now, you've been here for over a year, Danny. If you want to join now, just send a text message to Adam. I'll make sure that you get the membership for less than $1,000 if you want it right now. I know it says it's going to cost you $1,420, but if you want to join now, I'll just tell Adam to give it to you for less than $1,000 because I know that you've been here for like a year. I'll make sure that you're taken care of, Danny. So, Danny, if you're interested, just go ahead. Send a text, that phone number at the bottom of the screen. Trader Newbie says, are there any extra costs when joining? Trader Newbie, there's no additional cost for all of our courses and all of our tools. So when you join True Trading, you get a 23-course curriculum, which is a simplified version of what I learned when I worked at the fund in New York. You also get tools like Benzinga Pro's newsfeed, congressional trading data, insider trading, the trade idea scanner, trading views charts, unusual options activity, dark pool data, options flow, short data, analyst ratings, a trading journal, a social sentiment scanner. All of those things are included with your annual membership. There, you do not need to pay $1 extra for any of those things. They're all included. The things that do cost more money at True Trading Group is if you want extras. Extras are what? We do like intensive 2-day boot camps covering specific topics. We do accelerator programs where you work hand in hand with one of our professional traders for about a month. We do in-person meetups down in Miami where we throw these, big events where members can all gather, get together. We, go through a bunch of trainings and trade together and everything else. Those things cost more money if you want them, right? But all of our courses, all of our tools, all of our trade alerts, all of that stuff is included when you join the annual membership. The tools are explained, Trader Newbie, and there are tutorial videos showing you how to use each one. So guys, if you're interested in that one-time take it or leave it payment, it's literally it's one time, take it or leave it. If you're interested to know what it is, send a text, 1-888-306-8783. And if you want it, grab it. I'll see you in chat. If you don't, no worries. Nice. Danny just sent a message. He says, Adam. Jamie just joined the trial. Jamie, what's up? I look forward to seeing you in chat. Trader Newbie, join or join the trial. And if you don't want to, join the trial or send the text. Nicholas, you too, bro. I saw your comment. You said you want to know, you're looking for information, whether you should go to cash, wait for Jerome Powell to screw things up. I'll tell you what, Nick, I don't ever think you should ever go to full cash. The first time in my investing career that I actually sold, and I mean meaningfully sold, and I was the end of 2021. I did it very publicly on this YouTube channel. All the members of True Trading Group. We have 10,000 members in True Trading Group from 115 different countries. And I told everybody that I was selling in my long-term portfolio at the end of 2021. It was like October of 2021 when I started selling all my stuff. But even when I did that, that was the first time I really meaningfully liquidated positions in my long-term, and I raised a ton of cash because I thought the markets were going to crash in 2022. They did. And I started putting that money back into the markets. But even when I sold in 2021, I didn't go to all cash. I don't think that if you're young Nick, if you're young, you should never be in all cash, because now you're talking about trying to time the market perfectly, and much greater chance you'll do a lot more harm to yourself in the long run if you miss market moves, you miss bull markets because you sold thinking the market was going to crash and it didn't. You're going to do a lot more harm to yourself than if you're in it and the markets crash and you hold through it, and obviously buy more if the markets do give you a crash. For the long run, you'll do far better doing it that way. I do this a long time, man. I'm doing this for over 17 years. I'm telling you. I mean, I know you don't really know who I am or anything yet, but I know what I'm talking about. I look forward to having you part of the group. Join the trial. Check us out. Trade with me. Danny, check your WhatsApp. So Danny, you sent a message. So check your WhatsApp, Danny. Danny sent the message in. There are so many groups just started to watch on YouTube. Please allow me some time to make a decision. This week, I have no time. Time is money, trader newbie. There's a lot of members in True Trading Group that have been parts of other groups. Let me show you this real quick. Members, do me a favor. Members, type the number 2. If you've been a part of other groups in the past and now your only regret is you didn't join True Trading Group first. If you've been a part of other groups and now your only regret is you didn't find True Trading Group first, go ahead and type the number 2 in chat right now. Trader newbie, I'm going to show you what members have to say. These are members that were part of other communities before they joined True Trading Group. And now their only regret is they didn't join True Trading Group first. So just read some of the comments, see how many people are typing the number 2. These are members of True Trading Group that are helping answer these questions or these concerns for you. You're not alone. Trust me. I know there's a lot of groups out there. And I'm not saying they're all crap. Some of them are, I'm not saying they're all, most of them are crap. Most of them are crap. Some of them are good. True Trading Group's not the only, gig in town. But I do think that we are the best. And I'm not just saying that because it's my platform and I'm one of the owners and co-founders of the company. That's not why I'm saying it. I'm saying it because I see the results that members have. 78% of our members stay with True Trading Group. 78% stay with True Trading Group. They either become lifetime members or they've renewed their membership. Why would 78% of our community stay if they weren't having success? And the vast majority of our members make money. I see the results that they have. I'll prove that to you again. Guys, do me a favor. Members, type the number 1 if you're making money. Simple question. Type the number 1 if you're making money. If you guys are becoming better traders, type the number 1. This is bottom line what it comes down to. Are people making money? If the answer is yes, then of course they're going to stay. If the answer is no, then they're going to leave. This is the reason why I truly believe that True Trading Group is the best group that is out there. Because if you were to go to any other live stream and say, hey guys, who here is actually making money? I assure you, there will not be this many people that are answering the question yes. That's a testament to the way that our platform is set up. It is designed specifically for people that have busy schedules, that have full-time jobs. That's why it is set up the way that it is. That's why we have the mobile apps and the tools the way that we have them. It is also very specifically the reason why there are 9 professional traders that have different styles, so that you can place different types of trades. It's not just one trader that sits in front of a computer screen all day long and buys and sells every 2 minutes. If you have a full-time job, you cannot do that. You're also not just going to get an email that's 15 minutes delayed that tells you that someone just bought a stock, and by the time you go and look at it, it's already up 10, 15%. This is not the way the True Trading Group operates. True Trading Group will tell you exactly what our professional traders are going to do before we actually do it. We put our neck out there, and when we're wrong, we're going to be wrong. And when we're right, we're going to be right. And we're right 80% of the damn time as a group. So yes, will we be wrong? Yes. Do we have red trades? Yes. Do we have red days? Yes. But we are right a hell of a lot more than we are wrong. That's what I think is the biggest difference between True Trading Group and a lot of other groups that are out there. So that's that. Sounds so nice. Do you know how many people in your group are struggling or how long it takes in average to be profitable? I can't answer how long it's going to take on average for you to be profitable. That is not an answer that's going to be able to be the same for everybody. Everybody is different. I don't know how much time you're going to put towards it. I don't know how often you're going to trade. I don't know how often you're going to go through the education and the teachings. I don't know what habits you have, what bad habits you've already created for yourself that need to be undone. I don't know what your level of experience is. Have you never traded a stock or an option a day in your life? Or have you been doing this for the last 3 years and you're just looking to turn the corner? I can't answer for you how long it's going to take for you to become profitable. What I can answer for you is how long it took members to make back their membership cost. That I can ask for you. Members of True Trading Group, can you guys do me a favor and just tell me how long did it take you to make back what you paid for your membership? Just comment in chat, guys, how long it took you to make back what you paid for your membership. Because that I can ask, but I don't know. I can't tell you how long it's going to take for you to become profitable. I also can't guarantee that you're going to become profitable. So here, read some of these comments. 1 week, my first week, 3 months, 2 months. Let's just read some of those comments. My first trade. Oh, really? Alf was your first one, Peter? I remember Alf. I remember that stock. Yeah. 1 week for Dino. Yeah, so.
Bro, look at Samuel Ogbodo.
What is that?
They posted their Telegram group link. I'm actually look at him spamming it now. I'm gonna get rid of it. But I am floored that this person thinks that that's gonna work.
Yeah, they're really stupid.
Really stupid.
They're really, really dumb. Really, really dumb.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm sure everyone here is going to run and go join that sketchy ass Telegram group.
Yes,
right
everyone is going to join. Everyone is going to join.
Danny just signed up.
Danny, welcome to the family. Glad to have you part of the group. Everybody, welcome Danny to the True Trading Group family.
And I hooked her up.
Nice. Everybody, welcome Danny to the True Trading Group family.
Persnickety Coot says they're making too much money to leave now. I really do love our members.
Our members are the best. My accelerated members, don't forget, guys, we got a session tonight at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, Steve Kabai said, was that a financial jihad move? There is nothing funny about your joke. I've now blocked you from the YouTube channel. It's not a funny joke. I don't really know what else to say about that. We don't get very, we don't get political or take sides on stuff, but, because at True Trading Group, it's, for those that don't know, I'm the co-founder of True Trading Group. Mike does the trading. I do the business side of it. But we don't get political. We don't care what your religion is, what your background is, whether you're Jewish, whether you're Muslim, whether you're gay, straight, man, woman, Zer, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay? As long as you want to better yourself and have a real chance to get ahead, then this is the right place for you. Okay? And, come on here and make a joke like that is not, is not funny. It's insensitive. It's really messed up. There's thousands and thousands of people dying that, whether no matter what side of the fence you're on, it's still human life, man. And not everybody on one side of the fence is, one group of people, unilaterally is not 100% bad or wrong. There's innocent people that are being killed, and it's not, on both sides, but not just one side or the other. So we don't want to make that, those jokes are not going to be tolerated on here.
Well said. We got another question here. We'd love to hear back from some trials that joined in the following weeks. Well, Trader Newbie, I'll do you one better. My members of True Trading Group, can you guys type number 1 if you did our trial membership and then you became a member? Type number one if you did our trial membership.
Brother, you're way too nice to whoever that is. Look, bottom line is it's $3. They don't have the $3 or they don't want to spend the money on it. They're obviously not serious. You keep giving them airtime here. And the truth is that everyone here would have no issue spending $3 on a bag of chips and a soda or, whatever. I don't know. I don't even know where you can spend $3 right now and get that kind of value, right? Inflation has taken all of that away. Where can you spend $3 and have a chance to have access to these tools? Even just getting the Benzinga Pro real-time newsfeed and Squawk for 7 trading days for $3 is insane. Yeah. So we don't care, newbie. Newbie trader, you want to sign up for the trial? Great. If not, ta-ta. There's a reason that every negative 1-star review on our 5-star review page is about me, and it's because Mike's a much nicer person. Go spend $100 on Mullen. Go YOLO AMC or something. But if you don't think $3 is worth your time, then get off the stream. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Folks, that wraps it up. I got to get ready for my accelerator program. My members, I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. So that's it, guys. Again, if you want to join our trial, go to ttgthree.com. Name, email, phone number, click yes, I want this, join the trial. 7 trading days with myself in the group. Otherwise, if you guys used to be a trial member in the past or you used to be a member, send us a text message. We'll give you a one-time take it or leave it offer. It's going to blow your mind. 1-888-306-8783. Text that number if that is you. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button, turn on your notifications. I'll see you guys all in chat. My members of my accelerator program, we're going over hedge trading. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Take care.